All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live show. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from. So we got some big news. Now, Trump was approached by a reporter. A lot of you guys may know her as Laura Loomer. And before I even get to the question that she asked about Ilhan Omar, many people, even libertarians, independents, and even at this point, Dr. Phil is very upset at Ilhan Omar because of what she's been doing lately, speaking of America in a very bad way and pledging allegiance to another country by the name of Somalia, where she comes from. But now they're calling for the arrest of Ilhan Omar. Arrest her for tax fraud, immigration fraud, marriage fraud, loan fraud, perjury, incest, kickbacks, campaign finance abuse. There's a whole bunch of things that a lot of people are calling for when it comes to Ilhan Omar. But the most interesting part is now that Trump is aware of what's going on, and he was approached and asked about the fact that she married her own brother. And now we know Trump is not scared to speak about things like this. And even if he's asked, he's going to do it. So I want to play this clip here, a very important clip. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Again, make sure to smash the like button right away. Let's get it going. Somebody said Minnesota is cooked. Yeah, so this story is it's getting crazy. Let's take a listen here. Let me make sure that I put it on full screen for you guys. Here we go.
Going to possibly look into immigration fraud committed by Ilhan Omar by possibly marrying her brother, tax fraud.
Well, there's a lot of talk about the fact that she was married to her brother. I know nothing about it. I hear she was married to her brother. You're asking me a question about it. I don't know, but I'm sure that somebody would be looking at that.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar spent the last 2 years denying.
All right, so it's there, right? So now we know that somebody's going to be looking at that, being that the president. Now people are calling on FBI Director Kash Patel, and of course Dan Bongino, and they're even calling on ICE to do this. Finally, this is the time. Many people are begging for this to be the case. They could finally make it happen. But here is a clip that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a clip that confirms all of that.
Looking at that.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar spent the last 2 years denying serious allegations that she married her own brother so he could stay in the United States.
It's a story that won't go away. Ilhan Omar, Democrat, married her brother, they say. And according to an old report from just about 4 years ago, there's DNA evidence. Now, this is coming from an individual who claims that they acquired DNA, got it tested, and said, oh, hey, look, they're brother and sister. And Ilhan Omar married her brother to help him get legal papers to reside in the United States.
Tell me definitively or not, is Ahmad Elsi your brother?
For the markup?
Yeah. Is he your
We're in
brother?
the middle of the legislative briefing.
We're going, yeah.
Is he your brother?
We're going to which one?
It's Foreign Affairs. I'll go with you. Can you tell me definitively, yes or no, is he your brother? And why can't you answer that question?
The remarks you gave me earlier.
Why did you refer to him as your child's uncle on Instagram? And why did you lie on court documents saying that you hadn't seen him since 2011, when in fact you'd been talking to him all the time on Instagram?
Sir, we're not doing ambush interviews.
This isn't an ambush.
You can send me an email.
Why are you so afraid to answer these questions?
Wow, so things are getting very real. And again, apparently DNA confirms beyond a shadow of a doubt that Ilhan Omar married and effed her own brother, Ahmed Elmi, and admitted that she would do whatever it took to get him to have U.S. papers. Only hours after Minnesota GOP operative Anton Lazaro posted online evidence providing Ilhan Omar had married her brother, the FBI arrested him in what appeared to be a major cover-up under the guise of an underage sex trafficking investigation. So we got a lot going on, and Trump has now been made aware of it. So holy moly, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from. All right. So that's big stuff happening in Minnesota. Again, early on in the Trump administration. Is it going to happen? We shall find out. For those who don't know, also, Trump's been winning like a mother effer, man. He's been winning. Don't know if you guys know, but CBS, parent company, has just agreed to pay President Trump $16 million after they deceptively, edited Kamala's 60-minute interview. That's another huge legal win for Trump, if you guys don't know about that. Within the past several months, he's been paid $16 million from ABC. Remember that? $25 million from Meta, and now 16 million by Paramount that owns CBS, bringing the grand total of $55 million in lawsuit money that is coming in. For those who don't know, this happened during the election cycle, and bro, everybody called Trump crazy because he was calling out the fact that Kamala and this was edited. The fact that they edited in order for her to look good, which then, you know, somebody said, "Where's my cut?" Trump should donate that money back to the people. Listen, I don't know how it works, but him getting paid is going to be, it's going to be. So they usually take a very long time to pay these stuff out. Eventually they will pay, but it takes a while to pay. All right. Big news. Speaking of Somalia, speaking of Uganda, speaking of New York City, we got more big breaking news. Trump woke up and he chose violence in a good way, I think. I don't know. Maybe you guys let me know what it is. But Trump is vouching. He's vouching, right? He says, as president of the United States, I'm not going to let this communist lunatic destroy New York. Rest assured, I hold all the levers and all the cards. I'll save New York City and make it hot and great again, just like I did with good old USA. So Trump is, again, taking this threat very serious. Now, there was a comment that Trump made that he said that if Zoran does become mayor and he defies the order of ICE and deportations, and because it's a federal proceeding, basically, that he will arrest Zoran. Now, Zoran started acting up and he started, you know, basically saying that Trump wants to deport him because he's Muslim, all this, all that. Well, here's a video I wanted to show you guys because this is how crazy it's getting in New York City.
If elected as New York City's next mayor, Zoran Memdani will not just destroy the city, he will usher in an era of destruction that will metastasize throughout the United States. I want you all to think about this. If the radicals seize the largest, wealthiest city in our country, if they're able to install this candidate, this same strategy will then be applied across every election. It'll then be game over for democracy and Judeo-Christian values. Even more frightening is Memdani's base isn't born and raised New Yorkers like myself. The voter breakdown tells us it's a coalition of white elitists and recent Muslim immigrants.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Look at that. So fake. Memdani's whole Robin Hood act, it's as fake as his accents. He's a manufactured artificial candidate created to usher in communism, a carefully crafted, charismatic communist presented in a palatable package. But nothing about him is real or grassroots, including his campaign. Despite a massive social media presence, millions in Instagram followers, almost 3 million of them, and also numerous TV appearances, according to campaign records, 1.6 million of the 1.7 million donated to Memdani's campaign was funneled through a single bundler. Now, a bundler is a professional who collects campaign funds for a candidate.
And I was told that his parents are like very wealthy. Yeah, no, this is a, like I said, this is a pivotal moment of what's about to happen in New York City or what's about to happen overall in the States. And I think Trump is like taking that very serious, right? With the fact that, you know, he would be considered socialist. He considers himself a socialist, but he's really a communist because of his stance on like public housing, or his stances on businesses being owned by the government, being seized by government. So I think by him becoming mayor would basically just the expansion of government. How much control does government have? And he also says this line, distribution of money, right? We need better distribution of wealth. Well, who's going to distribute that wealth? Again, like, what do you mean by distribution of wealth? Who distributes the wealth? Who gets to do that? Who has the right to do that? What makes it right for you to do that? What does that mean? So that's one of the main things, and I think that's why Trump is coming out and basically, saying that we should be taking this very, very, very serious. Now, USAID. Now I want to move on to the next topic. I think this one is a very, very important one because CNN just went crazy, right? So obviously we know USAID has been shut down. USAID is supposed to be helping the world, basically a lending hand from the United States of America into the rest of the world. But we have found out that it's been nothing but corruption, and usually the money, taxpayer money, really doesn't get to victims, or it doesn't get to where it's supposed to get to. So CNN goes, and of course, CNN is already kind of been in trouble for a long time now. Look what they say about the fact that it's being shut down.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is hailing the end of USAID, the nation's largest foreign aid agency, even as a new analysis finds that its closure could contribute to some 14 million deaths in the next 5 years. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is hailing the end of USAID.
Basically 14 million people are about to lose their lives because of the fact that USAID was shut down, according to CNN. So that's the mongering of fear that's going on here. But I did want to play this clip. I thought it was very important. There's a rebuttal to this. It's a rebuttal to this. And the State Department spokeswoman, Tammy Bruce, says that 90% of foreign aid never actually made it to where it was intended to. The amount of fraud is mind-boggling. This is why Democrats fought Doge so hard. We need some more arrests. Take a listen to this.
We are not ending foreign aid. We are making it more nimble. We are operating at the speed of relevancy to making sure that the millions and billions of dollars that we spend on aid get to where it is meant to go. There is nothing to be proud of when 90%, according to Samantha Powers, is not even making it to the people to whom it was promised. These are promises. Donald Trump makes promises and he keeps them. Promises made, promises kept. We will be doing that also now with foreign aid, with the new structure of how this will be working. We are, of course, it is in our DNA. We exist in large part because of the nature of what America stands for as a beacon of hope for the future for the world. We've died on that principle. We live on that principle, and we are giving foreign aid on that principle, but it will be functional. It will be auditable. We will know where it's going, and we will see results.
It's kind of like when the Pentagon fails, what was it, 5 or 7 out of the last 7 audits? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like we don't know where the money's going, kind of don't know what's really going on. But then you got people like this guy, right? Far left activists, Ellie, I think that's how you say his name. You guys probably seen him on MSNBC before. This guy is unbelievable. How many likes do we got? Make sure to smash the like button. I know it's the middle of the day. Everybody's busy, but we got over 1,200 people in here. That means a lot to me. But if y'all can share this video, smash the like button, spread the news, that would be amazing. All right, so here's what he has to say. This clip is going viral. Apparently, him and Joy Reid were speaking about the United States of America. Take a listen.
And I don't say this lightly, but our country needs to be sanctioned. We are the bad guys on the world stage. We are a menace to not only free people everywhere, but we are a menace to peaceful people everywhere at this point. And I'm not even going to say that we've only been a menace for the past 3 or 4 months, right? Like when does the international community decide that enough is enough? I know we're rich. I know we've got a lot of money. I know that people want to buy things from our country because we're rich, or want to sell things to our country because we're rich. But at some point, the international community has to stand up to us because we are a bad guy on the world stage. Right?
I would usually agree that the history of our government has not been amazing, and we've kind of, done a lot of bad things in the last 25 years by invading other countries and all that. I understand that sentiment, but the sentiment that we should be sanctioned, Nutty Professor over here going crazy. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it is like, this is the type of language that you speak when you don't like who's in office. Because if Kamala was in office, do you think that this would be the stance of Joy Reid? Do you think that this would be the stance of these Americans? That all of a sudden they want America to be sanctioned? Well, you only want that because you hate Trump. And again, what's the point? what's the point here? Speaking of people that hate America, the big beautiful bill, the BBB, whether you like it or not, it's about to pass. And Adam Schiff has a panic attack on camera.
Just leaving the Senate now. Sadly, the big, ugly, awful bill just passed by the narrowest of margins. 50 Republicans plus the vice president brought in to break the tie. This is a tragedy of a bill, a shameful bill, a selfish bill that will take money away from our kids and grandkids. It'll raise the debt and deficit to do so, to fund tax cuts for super wealthy people. It will cut millions and millions of people off of healthcare. It will take food away from hungry families. I've been in the Congress for some time. This is the most shameful act I've ever seen. We're going to fight this now in the House.
How many times, again, does this not sound like exactly what I just showed you, right? I showed you a clip of CNN saying that 14 million people will die because of USAID being shut down. Doesn't this language that Adam Schiff is speaking, isn't that the same lingo that they've always used? I think this is why people don't believe Democrats anymore. They claim to be, fighting for Americans, but in reality, I just don't think they are. I don't think people believe them anymore. I want to go back to real quick. I want to go back to this Ilhan Omar story before I go, right? Because I wanted to update y'all. Ilhan Omar, if you don't believe me, yo, bro, she's under fire. Dr. Phil, basically going after her. Phil McGraw says that Ilhan Omar is an ungrateful representative. He's calling her here disgusting, absolutely disgusting, because he's been doing a whole bunch of research. He did like a documentary on anti-American Ilhan Omar, and he actually could not believe that someone with allegiance to another country has been chosen to represent her district, which would be in Minnesota. But he actually could not believe that what he found about Ilhan Omar was actually real. Like, if you watch it, it's like a 10-minute clip that's on X. You could watch it on his network. I think there's a network that he has his on. We could go here real quick. So he basically, he calls her bashing of America absolutely disgusting. And he has like a whole clip about it. He basically blasted far left Ilhan Omar on Monday for comments she made recently about the United States becoming one of the worst countries in the world. So he was just like, he was dumbfounded, because he's like, wait, a whole bunch of these people are getting elected and they culturally they don't align with America as a whole. Here's the thing. She has the right to say what she thinks, what she's saying culturally, psychologically, or, she may think it's disgusting, but does she have the right to say it? Yes, she does. Just like I have the right to say it is absolutely disgusting, he says. Whoever voted for her knows who they voted for and should kick her ass to the curb, says him. In an interview with Democracy Now! In June, Omar said, I grew up in a dictatorship and I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon for hope of the world, now being turned into, one of the worst countries, where the military are in our streets without any regard of people's constitutional rights. Again, I told y'all, there is a huge difference between me and you and all of us coming together and saying, you know what, as a country, we can do better. As a country, we've gone completely off the rails. We were saying that for the last 4 or 5 years when Joe Biden was in office, because we saw how they treated people domestically. But to sit there and say that we have become one of the worst countries in the world is actually mind-boggling, that somebody like that represents the United States of America. So again, Trump made the announcement. What's so crazy about this video is, this is a bizarre video. I think it was Laura Loomer that asked Trump. She looked at Trump in his face and said, what are you going to do about the fact that she married her brother and committed fraud? So yeah, this could possibly, we got almost 700 likes. Make sure to smash the like button. I'll be going live again, giving you guys some more updates. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just think saying that America is the worst country in the world, I think that's crazy. Like, I think that's like, I think they're trying to paint this picture to people that other places are better. And I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think so. But again, yeah, it's getting wild. It's getting wild in the United States, man, with the people being elected. And why are people electing them? Well, you heard it there. I told you about these white progressives, but the white elitists, bro, they're here. White elitists who literally hang on to every person of color and their struggle, that they're trying to like save the world vibes. Like those, they're telling you they're gonna destroy America, man. Yeah. She is married to a white man, and she also said that white men are the worst thing. It's just like she's another AOC. It's all from the same cloth. All right, smash the like button. I appreciate y'all being here. See you guys in the next one.